I love that boy. It's recording in progress.
All right. Do you mind letting me out?
Wendy.
Hi, how are you?
Mary.
Hi.
Hi. I can't see you. Could you put your video on?
Oh, what have I done? Let's have a look.
Don't be shy.
No, it's fine. I meant to do it.
It should be on, but it's not coming up.
Here we go. My dog has just decided to go to the
There
toilet
we
at this
go.
moment.
I can see Wendy. Hiya.
Hi, hello. Hi, everyone. Wendy, I think you might be on here twice.
I can see Mary.
Hi.
Hi, Mary.
Hi. I'm just waiting for my dog.
I don't know what's gone wrong here.
Let me try and remove you. There you go. I think.
Oh, Brill, thank you. It just wouldn't go.
No worries. Well, hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to this session. I'm Georgie and I am from Naturo. I think we may be expecting one more person. Just
Excuse me.
Tim. May pop in. Oh, we got the dog. Have we got the doggies in the video?
Yes, I've just managed.
Oh,
he's been muted today.
Yeah, we love the doggies.
Let me see your doggy.
Today, so he's a bit yesterday, so he's a bit
Oh,
sore.
hello.
This is Tim.
Hello, Tim.
Oh, Tim.
Tim. Gorgeous boy. Who's a gorgeous boy?
Umbro's run away.
No.
He's got no concept of screens or anything.
Oh, Tim tends to join when I'm at work. He tends to join in, don't you?
Oh, well, it's nice.
Oh, look at little Tim. Hello.
About 6.5 stone, and he's 11 months.
Amazing.
So he's big.
Well, it's lovely.
Gorgeous.
So lovely to meet you all. So I am going to.
Oh, look at his little jumper.
I know. I love that.
Yeah, he's been muted
Got to the occasion.
yesterday. So he's a bit sore.
Yes,
brilliant.
I am going to give you a little introduction and overview of why we're here, what we're up to, and then I will hand over to Jackson Leon, who are going to take you through some live coaching. So welcome again, and thank you so much for joining us for, I guess this is the first of its kind relationship Houndselling sessions by Naturo Natural Pet Food. So hopefully you are all familiar with the brand. This is how you've entered the competition. But what we'll be doing tonight is combining specialist pet and human therapy techniques to basically help you address any issues that you might be having with your four-legged friend. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the brand, although as I mentioned, I'm sure you're fairly familiar with Naturo. Hopefully your dogs are maybe using it already. And then I'll hand over to Jackson Leon, who are going to introduce themselves, and then we will get stuck into the exciting bit, which is the relationship Houndselling. I'll be jumping in every now and again just to keep track of time, just to make sure that we get everything covered in our time allowed, and also just to let you know that these sessions are going to be recorded. We won't use them without your permission or use anything without your permission, but just so you are aware. So Naturo is a family-run business which puts pets first, and hopefully, as I said, you're feeding your dog Naturo, but they have the most amazing range of sort of all natural and healthy food with 100% natural ingredients, amazing things like goji berries and sweet potato and blueberries and broccoli and all that lovely stuff, and lots of vitamins and minerals. So the reason that we sort of wanted to start these relationship Houndselling sessions was the fact that, you know, Naturo is all about putting your pet first. It really understands that emotional connection that you've got between you and your pet, and, you know, how special it is. And I think also the fact that in the past year and a half, we've all experienced the pandemic, lockdown, that sort of stuff. And, you know, it's likely put a strain on relationships, and especially that one with your pet. So the idea of the session today is just sort of to help you address any issues you've got and just help you and your pet, you know, get back into what we're calling the new normal in 2021. So this class is super unique. It's honestly the first of its kind, and it's combining both canine and human therapy. So really exciting, and get ready, I guess, to talk about your issue with Jackson Leon. If you enjoy these sessions, we would love to hear from you. So any feedback, if you want to share anything on social media, tag us at Naturo Pet Food on Instagram and Twitter. But for now, I'm going to hand over to Jackson Leon for a quick introduction, and then it'll be over to you guys to talk about your specific issues. So Jax, over to you for your introduction.
Hi, well, my name is Jax. I'm a psychotherapist. And one of the things that most people don't realise about change is that the greatest predictor of change for the better is the quality of the relationship. So dogs are just like us as pet parents. Relationships are really important to them. And we're wanting, just using this because it's helpful, we're wanting to be up here because, again, as Naturo says, it's natural for us to care for each other. But often we think we're up here and we're in our human way, but the dog, because he's a dog or she's a dog, is not experiencing this. So we really need to learn how to tune in to their dogginess so that they can feel like they're getting this. And that's where we need the expertise and wonderfulness of Leon.
Hi, guys. Congratulations on winning the competition and for going down in history. This is the first ever human dog therapy session from Naturo, so well done. Can you just unmute, guys, because you're both on mute, Mary and Wendy?
Yeah, Tim was barking, so I just had to.
Oh, that's all right. We don't mind barking.
Contributing.
Yeah. Right. So, Mary, tell me what the problem is.
So the problem with Tim, he's lovely. He's coming back. Oh, hello.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, I started.
You're okay. Let me know when you're ready. He's our second dog.
Yeah.
He's a part Labrador, part Golden Retriever.
Okay.
And he's I'm looking at my husband here. He's a little bit naughty because he's
naughty.
So big. He's
Naughty
so
is my
big.
speciality.
He's not naughty. It's me. It's
He's
my
misunderstood.
Yes, and he sees me as the soft one. So for my husband, he's brilliant. For you, he'd be brilliant. But for me, you know, our biggest problem is I can't get him into his crate like the Cavalier as a Labrador. And when we're out, he's big and he wants to say hi to everybody. And of course, 6.5 stone of dog, when they meet a tiny,
that's a lot of dog.
spaniel or a tiny lady, even. Yeah, it's a bit awkward. But he's got a good heart. But oh, my husband's here. Oh, yeah. So it's it's a training issue.
Is that your husband piping up?
Yeah.
He can come and join.
Sorry?
He can come and join the session if you want.
You can join, Clive.
No, he's going to be in the background, is he?
Okay, yeah. So sorry. So that was it, really.
Right. So what's the problem? Training.
So the problem is the discipline because I struggle to discipline. I've always had cats, so I find it difficult.
Okay.
So
I'm going to let Jax start this one.
Well, it's interesting because I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Are you the soft one in your relationship? Is that how you are?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got an opportunity here for growth. Okay. So there was a lovely study done called "Fake It Till You Become It." So what I know that Leon's going to do is give you the skills and the know-how of how to be. Does that make sense? And then it's about fake it till you become it.
Okay.
Fake it till you make it.
Well, actually, yeah, but the reason it's fake it till you become it, Leon, because they did this study and they found that when people acted in a certain way and in a kind of empowering way, their physiology changed. So, yeah, so it kind of feeds into what you're saying.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, is that you done?
I'm done.
Right, Mary. Give me an example. Oh, I can't see you now. Oh, there we are.
Sorry, I was trying to get Tim involved, but he just wants sweets. So I'm just going to give him.
Give me an example of you being too soft. Well, you said about the crate. So
yeah, we can't. My husband and I can't go out together now. Lockdown's over because Tim doesn't want to go in the crate, and I think I'm training him by throwing in sweets and timing him.
No.
Whereas my husband doesn't think I'm training him because if I start to close the door and he gets upset.
Who does? Tim?
Tim, he knows. He can see when I'm about to close that door, and he.
Now, does your husband put him in the crate?
My husband can put him in the crate, yes.
And he goes in fine.
And he goes in fine, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna have to break this learnt behaviour, I call it. Okay. Yeah. So I reckon, well, I know. So I'm picturing the scene. You open the crate door, you chuck the sweet in, and you're like, try and close it really quickly. Yes, am I right?
That's it, yeah.
That's the one I knew. Okay, so what I want you to start doing is, at meal times, does he have 2 meals a day?
Yes.
Is he on Naturo?
He's on a mixture of things.
Right, so tell me what he's on first, because diet has got a lot to do with it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He started on raw food. Then he went on to Naturo, the yellow and the green tins. Now he's on a...
Is that one?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, no, the tins, not the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'd have to get one to... Then,
That's all right.
because he eats with his older brother, who's 8, it's a mixture now of Arden Grange... Am I swearing if I say another brand? Arden Grange lamb, Arden Grange chicken, and a bit of the really, really not... It's probably like a donut for dogs. Webox.
Webox? I've never heard of it.
It's just this big chub roll, and I just cut it up and... No. And
we need to be getting rid of that.
I'm going to make it worse. I'm really sorry. And then if he doesn't want it, I throw in some sweets.
Oh my God.
I'm a bad dog.
Right. So this is the problem. Okay. I know he's doing it for your husband, but because you're a little bit softer, which is lovely because I'm soft. I'm proper soft. I honestly, I just treat dogs with kindness and love. And I am soft with them, but I do it in a loving way. And if you do it in a loving way, it can just be exactly the same as doing it in a firm way. Yeah, right, okay. It doesn't mean you're soft. It just means you use a different technique. And as a pet parent, I give you 100% brownie points for being soft. Believe it or not. Okay, so what I am going to say is, and your husband will probably disagree because he'll say, well, how come he does it for me and not for you? But you're on the screen, so you're listening to what I'm saying. I'm going to give you some lovely advice. Hey?
Sorry? Oh.
No, I was just wondering, Lynn, what's your husband's name, Mary? I want to get a good picture of him.
Clive.
Hiya, Clive.
Clive, Tim and Mary.
Yeah.
So
we've got Jonathan the Black Labrador that could appear at any moment as well.
Oh, Jonathan and Tim. So, Mary, the wee box thing, you need to stop.
Oh, okay.
It's full of junk. I mean, what's the meat content in it? Does it say?
Know. It does.
It probably says. In fact, can your husband grab one?
Shall I? I'll grab one because it's I can probably just get to the phone quickly.
Come on, Clive.
You all right, Wendy?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. I'm waiting for this chub of dog slab meat, whatever it is.
Right, it says here.
Right, what's it say on composition?
Look at him. It says it's a chub roll, crude protein.
Animal and meat derivatives.
Yeah, I can't see if there's where the meat is actually.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
There ain't any.
Oh,
exactly.
How much meat in the web box? I'm asking. Oh, it's a mix of food. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, that is a bag of sweets for your child every mealtime.
Oh God.
Literally, you are chucking fuel on the fire.
Oh no. Okay.
And I can guarantee you now, if you just stick to Naturo, not mixing it with raw, not mixing it with Arden Grange, don't mix it with any kind of mixer, as in biscuits.
Oh.
What's that one there you've got?
This is the Arden Grange.
What's the composition of that one?
Composition is...
It'll either say, it'll say composition on the back. They make it so small so you can't read it.
Composition here. Oh, actually, it's not bad. Fresh lamb, 70%. Rice
And is there any brackets?
No. Dried peas, minerals, dried carrots, beef pulp, fish oil, dried seaweed, glucosamine, yucca extract, yeast extract, cranberry extract, and I don't know what. Oh God, chondrotiffin is. Yeah.
Yeah. So does it say lamb 70% and there's no star or anything? It just says lamb.
This is lamb. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So some dogs who can be a little bit, I'll call him cheeky, a little bit cheeky chops. You shouldn't give them red meat.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, because it affects the behaviour. It doesn't affect the behaviour of every dog, but because of the way he is, and because it doesn't matter whether you're being soft with him or not, because you still put him in his crate and you're still going to close the door. So he's just been a little cheeky chops with you, really. A dog has a mental age of a 3-year-old toddler, and even when they get to 15 years old, mentally they're still 3, and we don't realise that as humans. And if we did, we'd be able to look after them a whole lot better. So if you get anything from this meeting, just remember, everything your dog does, it's a 3-year-old toddler. So that's just a 3-year-old winding you up. Yeah, he knows when you go to shut the gate, he just barges his cell out, and he's just been a little monkey, really.
Yeah.
If you stop the lamb and change him to either chicken, turkey, or fish, and just cut out the red meat, because red meat has got more testosterone in it, and the testosterone for him is having an effect on his behaviour. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he was neutered yesterday. So
how old is he?
He's 11 months old.
Okay. And he hasn't got any aggression issues, has he?
No, but he does kind of use my arm. Yeah, because Jonathan's 8 and he's hurt his shoulder. So now that Jonathan can't play, he started to do it to me. Well, he's been doing it for a while, but
right. So you need to get him to stop doing that, because it'll get harder. And I know it's only playful, but if he does that to a kid, he won't know the difference, and then he's going to get into trouble, and we don't want him he's just playful and he's just lovely. Yeah. So when he's doing this, does he know the word no?
He does.
Okay, so you'll find, you'll understand what I'm saying, exactly what I'm saying, because you'll do it and you'll see. If he goes to bite your arm and he's just playing, you just go, no. You don't need to shout, you just affirm no. And what he'll do is, I know for a fact, and you'll send me an email tonight or tomorrow saying, oh my God, Leon, you're like psychic. So he'll go to put his mouth on there, and you say the word no and look at him when you're saying it. Yeah. And he'll keep his mouth on there, and you say it a second time, no, and he'll release. I promise you.
Wow.
You have to look at him when you're saying it. You're not being confrontational. You're not being angry. You're not doing anything. He will have this look on his face, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you try it. He'll go like that. You'll say no, and he'll do this. Okay? And when you say no again, you'll do that. I promise. I've trained 10,000 dogs, and I can assure you now, the word no, they do that.
Yeah, I probably don't help by screaming sometimes.
So, what I want you to do is get rid of all the red meat. And I'm not just saying it because Naturo is the best food, because it is, and I'm a nutritionist, so it's what I would give my children if it was food for children. And basically, what I want you to do is, on his meal times, does he eat 2 meals a day?
Yes.
Yeah. So breakfast and dinner, I want you to take over that routine, not your husband, because I want him to grow that bond with you to do with the meal times. And what I want you to do is...
To be fair, I do the meal time, so yeah.
Yeah, but I want you to put it in his crate.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So breakfast, put his food out, pop it in the crate, and close the door slowly and gently.
Right.
And just give him lots of praise.
Yeah.
And when he's finished, open the door and let him out.
Right. Okay.
And then do the same at dinner time. And a dog has a 72-hour memory. So we can reprogram their brain every 3 days into a new routine. And once you've done that new routine, unless you did the trigger of chucking a treat in and trying to shut the door really quickly, he will forget that routine after 72 hours. That would be non-existent. If you never do it again, he would never remember, ever. Okay. It's only if you went to do it again in a year's time, the trigger would be, well, hey, go in and get the treat, and you go shut the door and I'm free. Okay? Honestly, believe me. So meal times, put his food in the back of the crate, close the door, just nice and calmly, and just say, good boy, well done.
Yeah.
And he'll eat his food, and then when he's finished, just open the door and let him out. And I can guarantee you within 3 days, he will go in that crate and you'll be able to shut the door.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Okay. That was a good one. Yeah.
Leon, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You know when you said that you say no and there's a look, and then you did that fabulous second look. What does that look? Am I over-humanising? But what does that look mean? What is the dog?
It's looking as if to say, like when my daughter, she's 28 now, when she was 2.5, I walked into her bedroom and she was playing with her dolls with a friend. And then I walked in and she had a crayon in her hand. I can't even point to the wall. I'll do it on the curtain. The look. She had the crayon. I walked into the room and she went, a crayon on the wall, smiling. And I was like, don't you dare do what I think you're going to do. And she did that look. She went, as if to say, well, I can, I will. But she didn't, because I just carried on looking at her and she was like, I'll just take that off there. So that is the look. And it's the same with children.
I love it. You've got the look. I love it.
You've got the look. Thank you, Mary.
Sorry
Right,
about
Wendy.
that, yeah. Thank you.
How can we help? Wendy.
No, sorry, I'm miles away there. I was just thinking about the crayon because my granddaughter does that. And she's 2.
You know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what to do.
But
Give
she
us a
doesn't
look.
do it here.
No.
She only does it at Mummy and Daddy. She doesn't do it at Nano's. Because she knows that she can't. Umbro is 7.
Yep.
Is a cross collie, but we don't know what with.
Okay.
It's got spots all over him, so we thought at first Dalmatian, but now he's too broad for a Dalmatian, so we don't know. He was from Dogs Trust. He was coming up to 2 when we had him, so we had some bad habits when we had him, like again mouthing. I was ready to send him back the first day because he'd ripped me arm, he'd bit me, but I took him to dog training. Some of it sunk in, some of it didn't. His recall, can't fault it. Anything else, forget it. But our biggest issue is if we get callers to the house, he barks up the front door, and I mean, he can reach a 6-foot door, he can reach the top.
Right. Does he go
does this in the car as well?
Does he run to the door?
Yeah.
So I know this is a really stupid question, okay? And whenever I go to owners' houses and I do my one-to-one private home visit with them, I go to the door and I'm going to see that dog because the dog barks at people at the door. So you can imagine when the door opens, the first thing I say is, why is your dog at the front door? And they're like, oh, because he always does that. Well, it's easy for me as an outsider looking in, but I came up with this saying, and it's called red zone is a no-go dog zone, okay?
Yeah.
If your dog gets excited and jumps around and goes to the front door, and when the doorbell goes, they go crazy, then you need to avoid them going into the hallway. That's not going to stop him going crazy, but what I want you to do is this, if possible, okay? If you can jump over a baby gate, I want you to you can get 3/4 ones, so they're a lot higher to stop dogs that jump over gates, okay? So have a routine where you do the same thing every time somebody comes to the door. So whether they ring the doorbell or they knock on the doorbell, you have to be consistent and have a routine. The doorbell goes, you've got a baby gate in the living room or the kitchen or wherever. You take your dog and you pop him into that room. So you're not closing the door on him, because I don't like closing doors on dogs. With a baby gate, he can still hear, he can still see, he's not getting stressed. And again, this 72-hour period thing, this is why I'm able to fix dogs. His new routine, literally after day 4, that's his new routine, and that's all he knows. So you'll find when the doorbell goes, he'll actually go through the gate because he knows that's where he's going to have to go. So then once you've done that, do that for a week. Just get your friend to come around to the house and ring on the doorbell. Yeah? Take him through, pop him behind the gate.
Our postman comes every day, so...
Yeah, and don't say anything to him. The mistake people make is they get, oh, come on, just come in behind the gate until I get the front door. All you're saying is, well done for barking. Oh my God, I love it when you do that. It's amazing behavior. Okay, don't say anything. Just pop him in, close the gate, go to the door. Once you've mastered that, within 4 days, because honestly, you'll be shocked. You'll think of this 72-hour thing from now on and you'll think, oh, I'm going to change this little behavior now. every week you'll change a new behavior, because it literally, they just rewire and they clock back to zero after 3 days. Then I want you to get somebody, partner, friend, whatever, literally ring the doorbell. And this time, once you've done the training of them not coming to the door, now this is your second part of the training. When the doorbell rings, he's already behind the gate. Does he like squeakers?
No.
No?
No.
What does he like? What's his favourite thing?
His favourite thing is his football.
Right. So you get the football. While you're doing the training, you don't give him the football apart from when you're training.
Right.
That's his favourite thing. So he'll realise that only comes out when you're training. If that's his favourite thing, that's the only time he gets it.
Yeah.
So when your second part of the training, somebody rings the doorbell, you give him his football. Get them to ring it again, give him the football. Ring it again, give him the football. Literally every 10 seconds, keep ringing the bell and giving him the ball. Taking it off, ring the bell, give him the ball. And I promise you, the barking will stop completely, forever.
I mean, we get it in the car as well. If we're in the car and we're going for a walk or anything, you know, if we're traveling anywhere,
he barks.
It is fine until it gets it's literally 8 kilometers from anywhere that we're going. He remembers everywhere we go.
Yeah.
We went to a lighthouse. We've not been for a year, but he remembered it.
Because he will. It's dogs have triggers.
Yeah.
We think as humans, oh, they remember that. That's a memory. Dogs do not have memories past 72 hours. They really don't. It's a trigger.
It's got to be like the sea, because we live near the sea, and it might be that. But we'll go to gardens, and he knows obviously knows the smells of the gardens.
Dogs are very autistic. Okay, so they're on the autism spectrum. There's no specific high or low with dogs. It's like they are autistic, no spectrum. It's just traits of autism. So they're led by triggers. So he will remember every single place that he's been to. If it's been a positive experience, the trigger will trigger off that happy chemical, endorphins.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah. So can I ask you this? I know the answer anyway, because I'm telepathic. Where is he when he's in the car?
In the boot where he's always been. But we used to have another dog, but that other dog died.
Okay.
But then he taught me other dog what to do.
So, is he in the boot and he's able to see everything?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I want you to try. And again, please don't humanize it, because it's not an emotion that dogs have. When you change your dog's routine and you're doing it for their, for the better of them, you're doing it because you love them.
Yeah.
And excitement can be just as bad as anxiety and stress, because they wind themselves up into a frenzy, and it's like a kid getting so excited they actually make themselves sick. So it's not really a good thing to let your dog do. And we just think, oh, we're so excited. But if that was your 3-year-old child in the boot and they were doing that, they'd actually be being sick. They would wind themselves up into such a state they'd end up spoiling it for themselves. I want you to use, and I know people see crates as punishment. Crates are not punishment.
We won't go in a crate. We've tried it.
Even the cloth ones.
We used to have one.
The travel ones are cloth ones. Yeah.
He's petrified of enclosed spaces. We had to take him to the vets, and they've got a enclosure that they use for small ponies. He wouldn't even go in that. It's really weird. You froze, or I froze.
No, I think Leon's frozen. It's a crucial moment.
Can I just come in with something that I was thinking as we were saying this? It's also is it potentially a real positive that a dog is kind of safeguarding and protecting us? Do you think? Because that's
well, we thought that. I mean, it's very, very rare we have to leave him in the car. If we're driving along and a person walks past us, he barks. If we stop and if my son was to meet us in town, we put the boot up, he pets him and everything, and then he'll turn around and he'll go and he'll bark as we're leaving.
Right.
It's really Yeah, you're very seasick.
Leon,
So it's really weird, you know, and we can't put a finger on it. We've tried everything. We've tried a soft crate, we tried ornery crate. We had a van which was enclosed so we couldn't see. That didn't work either.
Wow, you've tried it all.
We have tried it. I mean, we've even stopped the car, you know, and gone to him and, you know, tried to calm him down. That don't work.
And does he enjoy playing with other dogs?
Yeah.
Loves it.
Yeah, he loves it. I mean,
so
it's got loads of energy.
Yeah. So would you say that's his excitement? Because to me, and I don't want you to feel guilty for this. Again, this is a dog thing. So Jack sees it from a human's point of view, and there's lots of things that are transferable from humans to dogs. However, dogs' brains are different, and they're a different species to us. And there's certain things that we feel guilty for that a dog doesn't even think about. You know. So for me, if the excitement is when he gets to somewhere or just when he's about to get to somewhere, that's obviously the trigger. Yeah.
Yep.
Would you say, apart from when you're taking him in the car to go somewhere, is there any other time he would get excited like that? No.
When you're in the car.
So because that's the trigger and you're saying it happens just before he gets to somewhere. So could you be in the car for like 10 miles and then once he realizes where he's going, that's when it all starts?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what he's lacking is mental stimulation.
Right.
Okay. He's getting to play loads. You're taking him to all these amazing places. He's got all these amazing smells, but mentally he is not being drained. And because he's got collie in him, collies are very clever. So clever. Honestly, all dogs are clever and they're actually cleverer than we think they are. Okay. What I would say to you is, and I know you're going to pull a face of horror in a minute. If I was to say to you that behavior would stop if you were to take him to a daycare session to socialize, how long did you try it for?
He was there for 6 weeks.
How many times a week?
Twice a week. But he also did his training there as well. Okay,
so I would take him to a different centre.
Right.
Where he didn't do his training. And how many dogs are there?
There was about 6 or 7.
Oh, God. Right. So he needs to go to a daycare centre where there's like 20.
Right. Okay. So he's in it's like in a pack again.
Yeah, a group, not a pack.
Yeah,
people think dogs are pack. Yes. He's only going to get mental stimulation from either agility, swimming, or a daycare centre.
Swimming? You wouldn't get him he's petrified of what? You know, he's even petrified of sheep.
Oh, well, that's not a bad thing, is it?
No, but you know what I mean. We've got donkeys who love him and he makes a wide berth.
Type into Google, dog daycare centres near me.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want you to, when you see one, don't look at it from a human's perspective. It shouldn't have loads of toys in there because that's dangerous for dogs. Dogs don't need toys to interact with dogs. So we look at a centre and we think, oh God, I'm not taking him there. It's just a room full of dogs. That's like dog heaven.
Yeah, because they're interacting with other dogs.
Interacting and mentally, if you watch dogs, they speak to each other telepathically. They don't use just body language. We think, oh, their ears are saying this and the tail's saying that. My philosophy on it is they are telepathic. They speak to each other and communicate with each other without having to speak or use body language. I can assure you now, if you took him to a centre and left him there for even 5 hours, half a day, twice a week, 10, 20 dogs, all of that excitement will come down. He'll still be excited, but it'll be calmer because it's too much for him. It's winding him up into a frenzy.
Yeah, it's just strange though. I mean, as I say, my son can open the boot, pat him, do everything. We shut the boot and he barks at him, even though he's lived with my son because my son lived here.
Yeah.
He still barks at him. He's got friends, you know, we go and see friends. He knows them very well. He knows their dogs very well. But he'll bark. But it's only when we're leaving.
Okay.
And it really is weird. But when you're going down the road and all of a sudden you've got this, he's really going for it, especially if he sees a high-vis jacket.
Right. So quickly, high-vis jackets are a massive thing for dogs. The thing we do is we try and avoid them. What I want you to do is get a high-vis jacket, okay? Yeah. And I want you to start leaving it on the chair in the kitchen, on the sofa, and every time you bring that out or put it somewhere, don't make a big thing. Don't make a big thing out of it, okay? Just have it somewhere laying there and give him a really high value treat, like cooked chicken or mature cheddar, just things that you'd only give him as a high value treat. And I can assure you, you will desensitize him to high vis jackets. That is how we eradicate that behavior. There's something in the green that affects the dog's eyes, they're really affected by it.
Because, I mean, we live in Ireland, and on the roads, they have to wear high-vis jackets. It's
high-vis, yeah.
Oh, and it's...
And that's it. And you'll see one, and I know you'll think to yourself, oh, for God's sake, there's one of them blooming high-vis jackets. So you'll try to avoid it, or you'll put over his eyes. And if you have one at home...
I can wear mine at home, and it doesn't bother.
No?
Oh. I've got a high-vis jacket that I wear when it's raining.
Yeah, same colour.
Yeah, don't bother with it at all.
Have you got friends that can come around to the house? Yeah. Yep. So I want you to get them to put the high-vis jacket on. Lots of different people. Like when people say, well, for how long? You'll know for how long, because if you did it with 10 different people on 10 occasions, and you've got a high-value treat, Naturo treats, fresh chicken, really strong cheese. I mean, I've even used blue cheese before, a tiny amount.
He loves blue cheese.
Yeah. So if you give him blue cheese, he'll be like that. Wow. Every time someone comes to the house, give them the high-vis jacket. When they come in, they put it on and give him the blue cheese.
Okay, I'll give it a try. We've got to do something because it's embarrassing.
Yeah. And also it's stressful for him. It creates chaos. Yeah, and the thing with the excitement is that's why it's important for him to be mentally drained.
Yeah. I mean, we've got the postman who comes every morning. He thinks it's hilarious. I said, it's not hilarious.
No.
I said, it gets to a point. Yeah, as soon as you open the front door, he goes to the postman and goes, tickle me. And then as soon as the postman gets in the car to drive off, he shouts at him again.
Yeah. So do you see why we need to take that away? And it sounds awful because he's losing his tickle, but you're actually facilitating that behaviour. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because he knows what he's getting. Then the person goes and he barks, and you're probably going, he's gone now. You'll see him again tomorrow.
Yeah, we do actually.
And it's just the same as you saying, well done. I love it when you bark when he drives off. Well done.
Oh no, he knows tomorrow. I don't like. He does know I don't like it because he looks at me and says, "Shall I shan't?"
Yeah, but you still let him do it every day.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Wendy. And I am going to start drawing things to a close. What I would like to do.
Oh.
I know. so much content to cover, but unfortunately, we are going to have to. But what I'm going to do is hand over to Jax. I think both your issues, Mary and Wendy, are obviously different, but I think there are some things at the heart of it that Jax can share some teachings on, some thoughts on, and that kind of stuff to also just help you, because I think the problems that we've seen are coming, from a human perspective as much as the pet perspective. So Leon's here with your practical advice, and then Jax can offer.
Now I'm going to close my mouth.
And then, but then after that, we'll wrap up and say our goodbyes. But as mentioned before, thank you so much for joining. I hope that you've both got something out of this.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Good. I'm loving it. I could stay on here all night.
And we'll do it again sometime. But please share your feedback with us directly if you want. If you want to share something on social media, as I said, please do. We'd love to hear from you. But I will hand over to Jax for a final word now.
So, well, I just when you froze for a bit, Leon. I got on with a bit of human stuff. Oh, he's gone again.
I'm here. I'm here.
His camera off.
Don't leave me. Anyway.
I was blowing my nose.
So basically, I was talking to Wendy, and I was saying, when my dogs bark, and my human response is, oh, they're protecting me. So I do see it. Let me finish. I do see it as I'm bigging the dog as a pet parent. I'm saying I'm bigging them up a bit because I'm thinking, is there not intent? Quite, they're trying to be up here protecting me, but I hear what you're saying, because actually I would imagine, you tell me if I'm right, you would say I need to be up here.
Yeah, you're the parent and they're the child. And remember the 3-year-old toddler thing?
Yeah. You're
the parent. Dogs do not want to protect you.
But I guess what I'm kind of saying is that I do, they are a deterrent for, I mean, they do help keep us safe, don't they? They do have a want
of course.
and a care, because we're part of their family.
Yeah.
So am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
I'm not humanising them too much.
No, absolutely not. But what we need to remember is they need to be looked after. It's not their responsibility. And when they're given a responsibility, that's what creates mental health issues in dogs.
Yeah, but what I liked about, well, it sounded like what Wendy was saying, that was actually when it's as if when they feel they need to protect her, that's when they bark. So would it be right to say that actually, yes, boundary, it can't come to the front door, but would it be right to say it's a natural response with positive intent that they're barking?
It is, but that's what unbalances dogs. Dogs need to be led, which is why they're not pack animals. They're not pack, that wolves are packs, and dogs live in groups. Dogs are parent and child. So you're the parent, they're the child, they need to feel protected. And as soon as they take over, exactly. And as soon as they take over and feel like they need to do it, it all goes a bit wobbly. And it's like the child, it's like a toddler trying to protect the parent, and it shouldn't be like that.
So when we think we're being caring, sometimes we're not, and we're enabling and we're not protecting.
Be caring by taking charge, taking lead. And I don't mean shout at them. That's not what I mean by take charge. I mean, just take parental control.
So my last thing that I was going to say was I really like this. They use it in other kind of recovery terms. Can you see that says chime? Can you see it?
Yeah.
So I think what this whole experience coming through COVID, I think our dogs as pet parents have given us connection. They've given us hope.
Yeah.
They've given us identity. So I'm a dog owner. We get as pet parents, we get the opportunity to be the best version of ourselves, looking after our loves. And meaning, you know, they genuinely give us meaning all through our day, don't they? A reason to get up in the morning. And empowerment. And I wanted to finish with an Eckhart Tolle quote, and he says, he wrote a book called The Power of Now. He says,
I've got that book.
Have you got it? He's fabulous.
The thing is, think dog. Think dog is the power of now. They live in the present.
And he says, his quote, you'll like this, is the vital function that pets fulfill in this world hasn't been recognized. They keep millions of people sane. And I think that we now have the evidence for that. You know, they really do. Yeah.
That's amazing, Jax. I'm so glad.
Sorry?
I'm so glad you mentioned The Power of Now.
Amazing.
Wendy, Mary, if you can read that book, it's fascinating. And that's why I say think dog, because if you live in the power of now, that's the equivalent of living in a dog's head. They live in a 72-hour period. They live for the now. They live for the moment. No past, no future, just the now.
They don't resent you because you didn't walk them yesterday, did they? And they don't.
No,
they don't bank on you walking them tomorrow.
And it's like when people say, "Oh, my dog weed in front of me for spite." Dogs aren't spiteful. They don't have the emotion spite.
How could he do this to me?
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I love
it.
Thank you, Mary and Wendy.
Thank you.
And Clive. Was it Clive?
Thank you to Clive.
Oh, thanks, Clive. Yeah.
Take care,
Mary's taking over now.
Yeah.